beard is clean shaven, but he does wear a rather large curled mustache that covers his whole top lip, and some of his bottom area down there. He, you guys had traveled with him and no, no, that's not correct. You traveled with him in search of to come to the town of Blaviket or Blackensburg. And you can't quite remember the reason you all came. Alvin kind of sits up and he panics a bit. And then he calms down. Oh, okay. I thought we were having a problem. Oh, but I must have just been dreaming. Oh, I'll have to write that down. Orn, write that down. And a soft shadow with two white little spots holding a little book kind of floats down, opens it, and starts scribbling. Oh, okay. Good. Oh, let me calm down here. Why do you all look just as panicked as me? I don't think everybody can have a nightmare at once, eh?
I don't remember. What are we doing here?
We came here to look for an item. I think something was missing. Something? Yeah, I must have still come here to look for it. Oh. For me?
I mean, you sound fine from my end.
You're pretty quiet on my end. I thought it was just me. Oops, I'm muted. You were pretty quiet on my end.
Oh, quiet. I'll speak up.
Yeah, it might help Andy and Sam. I don't know if you're having this issue too, but it might help to just... You can turn up just his volume, too.
He's maxed on mine.
Oh.
Okay.
And yes. Speak up.
One sec. Oh, did I break it? Yeah, never mind.
Yeah. Y'all remember leaving with Ovlin? You remember coming to Blackensburg? You remember looking for... Must have been something. And can't quite remember what it was you were looking for. You assumed that Ovlin would have that information because he was the one who told you to come here, you thought.
It's all super fuzzy.
Uh-oh.
Did we find it? Did we find it?
We found it, right?
I don't have anything on me. I don't remember finding what we were looking for.
I, I,
Maybe it's in the room somewhere. I must have. I could have put it down.
I don't remember not finding it.
Right. Right.
Now that's an excellent point. We didn't not find it for sure, but we're not sure if we did find it either. What is it?
Oh. I'm. Oh, I'm sure it was something. Hmm.
I would tend to agree.
Hmm. Okay. Let me. I'll.
That is less than ideal.
Let me see.
It's in Dirobot.
Yeah, let me. All right.
Oh. Hey, hey. How do we sound?
Yep.
Oh, I'm guessing like robots.
Doesn't look good.
Um, do you know if he's on Android?
I found myself a really long Ethernet cord. I drag around the house now sometimes.
Been there.
I
Yep.
am tired of the new thing that they've done the last 10 years of metering internet Wi-Fi in the home.
Right.
So, something that's worth looking into, something I use, is Ethernet over AC.
Mm,
It actually works really well. Your mileage may vary, but if you have, if you get something with a good return policy, you can definitely try it out. And I mean, I get like
yeah.
perfect Ethernet in my office now doing that.
Excuse me. No
Yeah, I have no
improvement.
problem.
You could try. Ooh, what's
Ooh.
that? You could try shutting the app down all the way. Are you on Android?
I don't know if you can understand our robot speak.
Maybe not. Android. Good.
Mm.
Bum, 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 bum. Skeptical robot face.
Right.
Ah.
Well, this is unfortunate.
Mm, yeah. Mm, mm, yeah. It would hit. I mean, yeah, like when if he's panicking that often, you can't sit there and say he doesn't at least have something. When you have to intravenously learn psychology because you're with a psychology major.
Can you guys say something again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Test. He's just on really slow internet, he says.
Mm-hmm. He's probably friends with his husband.
Your video looks good, so that's kind of weird. I don't know if you can
Yeah.
hear us.
Now I can hear you, but there's no telling for how long.
Ah. Oh.
We can hear you at the moment.
Okay. Hey.
Test. Test. Test.
Hey.
Test. Test.
Okay.
Test.
Yeah, that's a lot of tests.
I'm like making sure.
I can hear you fine. Yeah, I think I got something figured out here so I can hear DM better too.
Yeah. So, uh,
Andy, it sounds like you're on an airplane, just so you know.
Okay. My neighbor is mowing his lawn.
Ah,
yeah.
darn
Uh,
neighbors.
Is he
so,
like right by a window or something?
We have a robot friend.
oh, dang it. Testing, we're losing. No, wait, there he is. Now he's back.
Am I back?
Hey. Yeah.
Okay, we can try, guys, but I'm not sure how long this is going to actually be usable.
Mm-hmm.
If you turn off your camera, your audio might hold out as well.
I've tried that before. It's never worked with this, but I'll give it a shot.
Mm. So,
I don't know if anybody's talking or not.
oh no,
Nope.
I was watching you
Oh,
type.
no.
uh, so yeah, Alvin starts checking his pockets. Uh, he's got his he's got a like a dark, very dark blue, almost black coat, kind of hung on one of the little banister posts, and kind of checking through those. He's like, I don't seem to have anything. Uh, or or what what happened yesterday? Mm, and you see the shadow go. and a lot of the pages start to flutter through in odd patterns, like wouldn't not like he's just flipping through the pages. It's just kind of flipping around. He kind of stops it. He looks down. He kind of comes up, and he puts the book in front of Ovlin like he's showing him. But for anybody who is in the vicinity that can see from any angle, it moves around. Nothing on the pages. And he kind of like puts his shoulder around, and like he's whispering into its ear, and more like it's amorphous. It just kind of touches, um, and you see Robin's eyes kind of glow, and just uh, oh, okay, uh, that was odd. Um, some we're looking for someone. Uh, uh, I repeated it a few times yesterday. It seems someone. We're looking for someone. I don't remember that.
Well, it looks like we're starting to remember something.
I could have sworn it was something. I don't know anybody I'd be looking for. Hmm. Someone. All right. Where to start? Is there anything in the room? I'll check. Uh, oh, yeah, and it kind of goes. Looks like it sighs heavily, and then just kind of wisps away. It's like, oh, you bother. All right. Guess I'm on my own today.
Well,
Any of you have anything on? Did you find something or nothing new?
um, I'm curious if anybody remembers why we agreed to help you find this thing or person.
Or, right. There's a. Oh, uh, you know, I work with the archivist. I work with an archivist.
Dang it, then we're not here for extreme compensation. Okay, fine.
Well, I can't remember his name. He must he must have given must have told us to go. I was supposed to show you around. I could only imagine.
Did you show us around?
I mean, I got you to the tavern, I suppose.
It does appear that we made it to the tavern.
With the
Why can't we remember anything?
let me roll a d4. Zendira, on your on the floor, kind of next to where you set your things down, is a piece of paper, and on it is scrawled fairly quickly, but in your handwriting. We have to find him too. I can't forget. I'm forgetting the name. It ate them.
Um, I lean down, pick up the paper, and like, I think we're looking for two people, and one of them might be very large from eating the other.
Wait, what?
Well, here, and I hand grins the paper.
I inspect said paper.
It is not
Right.
unheard of among Dragonborn.
We're looking for another Dragonborn?
So I have a simple solution to everything we're experiencing here. This note, I think, sheds a lot of light on it. How did anybody remember cutting off Zindira last night after we got to the tavern? Because I think we fell behind on that again. That's what it looks like to me.
Most likely.
Well, he's just so hard to keep up with whenever he gets into it. He's all over the place.
Do I have a headache right now?
Yeah. All right. When you read that, especially when you run over the "it ate them," kind of gets a bit of flashbacks from the kind of nightmare you all kind of woke up from. One kind of shakes his head. It's like, oh, the white teeth. Oh, the sunken eyes. Scared me half to death. I woke up straight out of that.
Hi.
Do you think anybody around here remembers us, like when we got in, or any peculiarities?
Talk to the tavern keeper and find out if you had to drag me upstairs or not.
Is there anything else in this room?
There's the 4 beds. It's not large, but the bed's kind of 2 wide, and then 2 come out at the end of them. There's a small cupboard, nightstand in the center between the 2 of them, with a candelabra sitting on it. There's a desk, had some paper on it that kind of looked like it was spread out a little bit. Little inkwell on it, an old vanity. A chair on it. The cupboard for coats and such.
Grins immediately starts digging through everything in the room, starting with a nightstand.
Oh, roll me some investigation.
Investigation.
And then go through everything.
A 12.
I like that. All right, so yeah, rustle through a lot of stuff. The coat cubby had a few like loner coats, big loner coats in there. Kind of like the mini bar in the hotels where it's like they trick you into it. It costs you a whole bunch. It's kind of cold. And the blankets and pillows. And then you go, yeah, it's whatever. You go through the desk, and there's knickknacks, all kinds of different knickknacks. Almost like someone's junk drawer. And you wouldn't imagine like what did they not clean these out or whatnot.
Is there any particular knickknack that stands out to me?
There's a watch, a full-blown watch, nice gold inlaid leather. Looks like it belongs to somebody. You kind of flip it over the other side. It says JW. You kind of put it down. And,
I slipped that in my pocket.
That's my initials. There is a few coins. You got there's like 3 gold. There's like 12 silver in there.
There are no coins in there anymore.
There are no coins in there. There's yeah, it's like a junk drawer. There's like a screwdriver, a couple of like wound metal uh, ringlets look like this for like holding uh, parchment, and a few for old parchment too, the rings. Um, the parchment has been scattered. You can tell where it was kind of uh, rushed and written on from Zendira because where the inkwell is, it had a few drops. You can see the corner is smudged in the same place. The looked like it got smeared from the paper rolling on it. Same place on the paper.
I like stop and immediately put it right next to that and compare the smudges.
Yeah, it's, it's just um, and with a 12, there's a weird hole that you first thought was like a mouse hole, but it kind of you can find the angle and you can see where it goes through, and there's claw marks underneath the table near, and subtly on the floor, and a few more on the floor, and some on the bed. That's nearest. All the way out to where the cupboard was, the coat cupboard was at, and there's a few there, and you really get to tell the scratches on like where the handle's at on the cupboard and whatnot.
I walk up to the like one of the scratch marks and I like put my hand on it for comparison.
It is. Oh man, oh you're smaller. It is like 4 times your hand size.
Dragonborn, come here. And if it let me, I'll take
Almost
his
about
hand
twice
and I
the
put his
size.
hand on it.
What? What?
Hey, give me your hand.
At least from the distance between the claw lines, wide, very wide. It would have to be a really big hand or really long claws.
Grins walks up beside the two staring at the scratches. He just asks, well, you guys are both like nature people, right? Have you ever seen anything like this? Do you know what caused this?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, is how many claws do I see?
4.
Hmm.
And then every now and then around like a corner, like on the
side.
a leg of the boudoir, and on the leg of the bed nearby, and on the corner, you get a 5th digit.
Mm-hmm.
You get a scratching kind of like.
Yep. Well, it's I think it has hands. See, you got the 1, 2, 3, 4, and then over here that looks like a thumb. I don't know if that's good or bad. Yeah.
Huh. I'm gonna run back over and investigate the weird hole a little bit more.
And these, when you get a good angle, you can see it like comes down into the room kind of underneath, and then you can see like the wall, so it kind of like hits the corner and kind of comes through into the next room on the side. And you can kind of literally see into the other in bedroom, from like the corner, just enough.
I run down to the room underneath to where it went through.
It is locked.
Start banging on the door.
An older lady kind of, 1 minute, 1 minute. Yeah.
Excuse me, madam. Did you see anything strange last night?
No.
Do you remember anything last night?
Come here to get away from the mister every now and then.
From the what?
The mister.
The mister.
The old man, he gets kind of rowdy.
This old man, his hands, how big are they?
Like normal man hands.
Oh.
Grins has cupped his hands over the hole. Whoops. Lost one.
No.
Hey, can you hear us?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Do.
Can you hear us, Sam?
Okay. Hey, can you hear us? Maps. Doesn't look hopeful.
Oh. Yeah, I'm just thinking about why that old lady is actually probably in the hotel room. It makes me really sad, and I can't say anything about it.
Okay. Nope.
Oh. Oh.
Gonna have to get him Starlink or something.
Right. Well,
Rocks fall, everyone dies.
Yeah.
Mm.
All right.
I don't know if you guys can hear me or not.
Oh.
Yeah, hey.
yep. Can you hear us?
I cannot understand a word anybody is saying. This is not usable, guys. And I'm not going to be able to do anything.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's a. You can't hear us.
Yeah.
All right.
I could almost play into that thematically.
Huh? Dragonborn is sleeping very heavily.
No, it'd be more. Yeah, the two of you came with Ovlin to find someone. Gosh, it must have been the Dragonborn. No, who? It must have. Because you two have been traveling around for a while now. Just the two of you? You guys fought that one, and you two went and took down the necromancer. She was, just the two of you.
It's a little fuzzy.
What?
Don't forget who?
It's just, yeah, kind of like he was. Yeah, you guys got 4 beds. Maybe that was just the room they had available.
Is the bed messed up?
Yeah.
Do you think the shadow was where in the?
Or
do you
he doesn't
think
touch anything.
do you think whoever made these claw marks was sleeping in that bed?
He's a very thrashy sleeper. Then I wonder. Oh, it's weird. There's like a small pack, and what looks to be like a wide, large quiver, kind of set up on the side. Has a few javelins that go through the whole set.
Hey, look, Z. Somebody left a bunch of throwy sticks in here.
I go and
Must have
Those
just
are-
been there the whole time, you guys.
I'm
Right?
gonna go over and inspect the javelins and see if there's anything particularly interesting about their make.
Oh, it's give me
Nature?
yeah. Roll me a yeah, I guess it just depends on what you're technically like looking at it for. I would in nature, having you have a pretty high nature.
Yeah.
So I mean, you recognize that those are from the rock lobsters, out near the coast, the coastal flat grasslands. Um, you're like that's it must have come from not that way.
Whoever owned these must have come from
You
the
guys came that
south.
way.
Yeah, I remember being down there. I remember
With grins.
clearly with grins. Yeah. You remember the cave with the archiv? I think it was an archivist. I think it was a cave.
I mean, we've seen a few caves since we started traveling together, but what?
Oh.
Yeah, because you were you went down that cave with the archivist. And you found Eckern and
Yeah. Eckern! Eckern!
you guys hear that? It's buzzing with my projector.
Nah, I don't hear anything.
Every now and then his form kind of cracks and shifts a little bit. This feels weird. I can't. Can I? Where's? I thought he was with us. Why am I? I don't. I should know what I already know. Or do I not know what I already know?
We should know too.
I mean, who says I don't know? I just want to make sure that I know the same thing you know, and I want you to have a chance to show that you know.
And Zendaya, when you touch the when you give him a little touch, roll me a d20.
Okay, d20, roll. Oh, it's a 9. It's skittered across at a 19. It's like,
How much comes back? Smaller figure. Silver scale. Grumpy attitude. Must be some kind of psychic ability, because you almost like you saw a glimpse of the person who owns this. You probably go and find them and let them know that they left their stuff here.
Or
these are well-made javelins.
right.
I'm sure the owner will be very grateful if we return them.
Well, we definitely shouldn't just leave them sitting here.
I take the javelins and I throw them over my shoulder.
I feel like it would be a crime to leave this stuff sitting here.
It's odd. It's meant to sit in a side fashion. So when it was set up on the thing, it's kind of set. So it sits that way, and when you kind of throw it over your shoulder, it kind of flings upward. And the javelins are locked, but there's a pouch in there that's normally for bow arrows. The person doesn't have any arrows. So off to the side, and it kind of just flings out. A little journal, a little notebook.
Yeah, I'll pick it up and see if I can figure out whose this stuff is. like, Grins?
See,
is it wrong to read someone else's journal?
Fun part, because a journal doesn't necessarily have the person talk about them. Yeah. So you get a lot of the life of this person, and it really involves you guys. It's odd. It's like every memory that you guys can recollect up until this point had this person in there. Had a few other things. Roll me and then no. You're flipping through. There's he was there when you were fighting, when you guys were running from a mad blob orb that was coming at you guys and collapsed an entire cave. When you guys fought the avatars, quintessential. When you guys fought the necromancer traveling to the desert.
I feel like this person shouldn't know so much about us.
Grins is leaning up against the wall with his arms folded and this really smug look on his face. He's like, you know what this means, right?
Talking about coming to help an archivist Chorel, follow, come along to find another archivist that had gone missing or hasn't boarded back from this city in a while. And you guys, he said, we left with him and Ovlin to come down here.
Is our friend still in the room with us?
Ovlin? Yeah, he's like putting his jacket on and he's kind of like slipping his boots on. He's like, oh, maybe some fresh air. Feeling weird.
Yeah, that might be a good idea. Okay.
We've made it.
Yeah.
We've become legend to the point where people are recording and writing our stories. We've made it.
Well, I'm glad somebody wrote it down.
Trust me, I'm a librarian. I know a thing or two about stories. And he kind of puts his arm up in the book, kind of, he's like, oh, so, what comes next?
I hand the librarian the journal. I'm like, could you get this published?
He goes, it has my name in here.
It has my name too.
I don't remember this Chorel. I know. That's two that I should know then. Oh. Something's amiss. Maybe fresh air would do us some good.
It couldn't help. Or it couldn't hurt.
Ooh.
So there are screams out and about. Thrashing sounds audible enough to hear as it smacks some debris smacks the side wall of the inn you guys are in. People gasp. There's people running into the inn. Bottom door, you hear people running through the hallway out in front. Screams, lots of thrash.
I think we should either check that out or run.
We should definitely check it out because I don't even know where we would run to.
That is an excellent point.
I have the feeling this is a consistent thing with you. Like we've done this before. All right. My story doesn't end here. Let's go.
Maybe we can figure out what happened to that Ghost Rider while we're on it too.
He kind of kicks the door. He's small. He's a dwarf, so he kind of like and it flies open. He's like, "Let's go." And people like bumping. He's like trying to get out of the way.
All right. I've got my was it Staff of the Stag Beetle or something, and I'm like walking out with it.
Yeah, they're coming down, and it's weird. You guys rush out, and everyone inside is kind of like the screams have stopped, and people have stopped kind of rushing around. They all look really, really kind of baffled that they were scared of something, but they're all still scared of something. And
Okay.
you go out, and there's like a whole alleyway that has been almost like crushed outward, drag marks on the floor, blood all over the ground, all over the ground.
Do I see any bodies?
Pieces. Like there's a finger, and then there's a stall, like a fruit stall, on one of the corners that was kind of blown out, and some of it is torn down, and what's still up of the awning has like you can see a weight on it, a little weight on it, like something's on top, and you can see the drip, blep, 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 from like one spot where it pools. The fruit's thrown about. There's like a cart that got like completely like crushed on, like something crushed on top of it, and then drug back through.
Grins is going to run over to said fruit cart and climb up to inspect what's on the top side of that canvas dripping blood. Just to see if he recognizes this.
No. For the for the spectators, no. So, yeah. It's like a real putrid scent, and you're every time. Better. Give me a wisdom saving for both you guys.
Don't like the wisdom saves.
This is gonna be better.
12.
Oh. Got a +6 for 21.
Oh, it's just young enough. It's just young enough. So, yeah. So, Grins, you're standing there, and you're like looking at the cart, and at first you walked like the cart's like this way, and it's all destroyed. There's the alleyway that's all busted through, and you're coming from this way, and you were staring at the front of the cart for a little bit, and you couldn't figure out why you wouldn't look at where it was destroyed. So you go, you try to look in that direction, and it's real hard. It's like something's fighting you to look that way. Until it's slow, real slow, until you start to see the crush, and you're like, oh, okay. Yep, with a 12, yep. Oh, Zendira. You hear this odd siren kind of loud gaggle of whispers and screams and audible babbling, and it's almost like every now and then they match a word or a letter all at once, and it's like this horrid shh, sorry. Yeah. Not here. Look away. And there's this large, now at this point, you can see it earth shaping around it. The almost like it like moves everything out of the way and puts it right back as it travels. Like it creates its own space. It slides in this pale skin, almost translucent. It draped all across its body. Every now and then there are like misshapen hands and like a small foot that kind of itself that kind of sticks out in like a glop of flesh, and from it are two long scythe-like claws that kind of sit real close to it, and now 3 long, pale, squirming, slithering necks. And at the end is a large, bald skull with the skin tautly wrapped around it, eyes sunken in 2 red dots, and large, white grin that reaches from one end of its ear hole to the other.
Grin says, Z, I don't know what happened to this cart.
One of which is literally like coming up around Grin's as it like moves away from him and kind of slides back.
Oh,
every
dear
now and
lady!
then opening
Grin's jumped down from there!
Look away.
Grin's jump!
As it slowly sinks itself out down into the sewer. Almost impossibly, like, you can hear, Zendaya can hear the bricking and crunching of bones and stuff inside of it as it fits its way down into the sewer. One of the heads still holding on to a foot bone where like the whole bottom half of the leg is still sitting out there and it's just dragging it back down. Everybody visibly afraid, but it's like, maybe something fell. And there you can hear the rumors of a few people like, oh, what happened? It's like, I don't know, it looks like, I think something fell. I was here and crashed through here. I think they came and picked it up just a few seconds ago.
If I can,
real rough.
I would like to cast Produce Flame and shoot a fireball at the thing as it's trying to slip away.
Yeah.
Like,
all right. Is that an attack or are you just hitting fireball?
it is. It's a cantrip. It's Produce Flame. I can throw it like a weapon, though.
Oh yeah, sure. So it's just roll the attack.
Okay.
Grins is like, what are you doing, Z?
Oh, it's a 19 with the +6. Yep.
Oh!
So that's, I think, 2d8, 2d8 fire damage, assuming a hit.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for 10 damage.
Yeah, with a 19. Oh. So it goes, and the neck, the last neck, is like sliding down like a reverse snake. It's like just like, and it's like the head's just like dragging this foot, this leg down, right? And you're like, I cast nope. And you like chuck the fire at it. And you hit the neck right about the spot. So the whole kind of and it kind of like hits like a little Molotov, just go in the area, and so like the whole like manhole is all like burning, and it pour out kind of in spaces, and it's burning, and you can hear it kind of screech, and it drops a thing, and it's snapping on its way back through, and then right as it kind of rushes a bit, and the flames kind of pull, and some of it goes out a bit. It gets a good look at you. There's two beady eyes. You can see it almost staring deep into your soul, and as it's snapping and drops in, screeching the whole way through. And damage. That's nice. Just that.
I'm like, oh crap. Oh crap, oh crap. Like, I'm kind of like almost frantically looking at the ground. like where did it go?
Grins is gonna run over to Z and be like, dude, calm down. We're in the middle of civilization. I know you spend a lot of time in nature, but you can't just throw fireballs in the middle of the street.
Did you see it?
Did I see what?
It was horrible. It slipped out into the sewer. You didn't see it? I hit it with a fireball.
Sure, you hit it with a fireball. What did it look like?
It had 3 heads, like with skulls and like long. Okay.
Oh yeah, Auburn failed too.
It looked very ugly. It was like white, sharp teeth, and it was whispering things. I could hear it. I could hear it in my head. Eckern, did you hear it? I think I heard it, Eckern.
It stopped for a second, and then it started up when we got back out of here. It's weird. It's very overwhelming. I can't, and you see him kind of. It's messing with my sense of everything.
Huh. Okay, well, where did it go?
It went into the sewer.
Okay.
I don't want to go down there. It's dark down there.
Yeah.
I've been in caves.
I'm not sure I want to go down there either. So when it was moving, was it kind of like moving through the ground or just on the ground, or you said it kind of like makes its space? Was it like sort of like this distortion of where it was going, or?
Yeah, kind of like both. Like when it moves, it kind of distorts around itself. Especially now that it's gotten so big. It keeps it's almost like it keeps itself to the ground. But the rest of its body has to move through things. So it kind of like all of it pops up, and then it keeps itself anchored to a spot.
All right, so hypothetically, let's say you did see whatever caused this mess out here. And it went into the sewer. Do you think that this may be related to our missing hour, day, however much we can't remember?
I think so. I think so. It was telling me not to look. It was telling me to turn away. I think it wanted me to not remember it. Oh.
Okay. Grins is gonna waltz over to the edge of the sewer and look down.
It's dark.
Careful.
You follow the light, especially now that some of the alleyway is just like torn out, and it reaches a bottom towards the light, but you can hear where the water is like falling through right underneath.
Can I check for any claw marks where it disappeared?
Oh yeah, you were watching it too. Almost like almost like it has to pull itself.
Like, see, look
and
at
it
these. And I put my
rolls
hand back up to it. It's like is it like
all
this?
through the walls, like what? Like it's like if someone has like whole scratch marks out of like fruit and stuff, big old fruit. It's like absolutely silly.
Whoever
now,
was
you
in the
know,
fourth bed went into the sewer. I'll be right back. I gotta grab something.
Is there like any? You say it's a sewer, but is there like any rope or ladder or?
yeah, there's like the ladder on the one side.
Okay.
It just doesn't sound like there's anything underneath.
Well,
Sorry, I didn't have time.
I look at my two companions. Who's first?
All right. Here, he kind of looks around, picks up a pebble. Eh. Oh no, thank you. And then he kind of rummaged through his backpack. He's like, no. It's like a quill. He's like, flip. Oh, that's not the one. Oh, all right. 1, 2, me. And he kind of writes down on this on his notebook. And as it does, it kind of lights. And all three of you have Featherfall. And the quill kind of, it's like, oh. Enjoy.
Grins. Is familiar with the sensation. He's like, ow. Thank you very much. And just kind of walks backwards into the hole.
I have an aversion to falling. I need to find more. Oh, wow.
Cannot hear you, Z.
I watch Grins go down, and I'm like, okay, and kind of like hop off. I'll be right back. I need to grab a fork.
One kind of looks around the edge. This is all broken in and stuff. Kind of like he's like getting inside of the pool. He's like slides in and kind of like pulls the air. He's like,
So I'm assuming it's a straight ride down, nothing remarkable before hitting the bottom?
You guys fall for a good 30 feet. As you guys are down and to go through the actual main sewer way, you can see where it's like torn out in like the side, and then there's like a hole that comes up through this way that's not like man-made, and then there's like another one, and it looks like this whole area is just Swiss the cheesed out. Some are small, some are freaking wide.
Z, are you seeing this?
Yes. It's kind of like the hole back in the room.
Some of them, yeah.
It's through the creepy lady's room.
Oh, that poor lady. Anyway, so yeah, you start heading down, and it kind of careens off in a direction, and so you all kind of like hit like an angle, kind of real hard angle, and you kind of slide down some like rubble, and bones, and then bones, and then a lot of bones. all kinds of different.
I am beginning to have second thoughts about our choice of occupation.
Who has dark vision?
I think we both have dark vision.
Oh yeah, everybody has dark vision. Cool. So in the darkish hole, darkish, because you guys have dark vision. It continues on. You can see where it almost feels like the whole floor is just. Not all of them are human, but quite a few of them now. This kind of large hole kind of has a whole bunch of smaller ones that connect every now and then. Some of them smaller, even smaller than you guys. Other ones super small. Every now and then, you might catch a glimpse of one down one hole, and they'll be like, you think you caught a glimpse of red kind of shining in.
I'm not liking these holes, man.
No.
Can you see anything down them? I'm try to take a good look down the next one I see red coming out of, or I think I see red coming out of.
There's you guys are kind of walking down. There's 2 or 3 areas that you can see actual sunlight come down through. Every now and then, just, and then you hear a good maybe 50 yards in front of you guys, like subtle crying, sounds small, and just soft.
I'm going to attempt to stealthily get to the point where I can observe the origin of this noise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, give a little stealth check.
Stealth check.
Stealth check.
That is a 30.
Ooh. So Grins disappears from the campaign, and then reappears over near the. It reappears back over. So you get to one of the holes of light, and you kind of go around the outlays of it. You're hiding behind some rubble that kind of fell over. You look over, and it is a small child. You can see there's like a bone that's like jutting out from above the knee, and the other foot looks like it's like straight out, and like the foot is like back. Looks like it hit the ground. When it fell.
Is it like a human child?
Could be. Human halflings. Not so much gnomes, but they're about the same size up until a certain point.
Well,
Up until the humans start to get like 10, and they get their little growth spurt.
alright, well, I'm going to slowly approach said humanoid and call out to it and just, hey there, what are you doing down here?
You can see her immediately like, and she's like,
I get the answer and I sign back.
And then, Zendira, you hear the
Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap! Oh crap!
and she goes, and you can see, you can see her also immediately.
Feeling along the walls.
You can see, because you have dark vision, you can see, every now and then the tip, brown, almost black, from blood, every now and then reach the outside of your vision and pull and scrape along. At this point,
Grins, we're not alone.
You see the little girl get slowly, the legs start to slowly move towards the back of the hole. And then she starts dragging. You can see her, she gasps, like, and it slowly starts to pull her back. Zendara, you can see the hand wrap around the leg and then wrap around the back of her back, with the long tendrils ripping around the shoulders, kind of dragging her.
I'm assuming I can't actually see the thing yet.
Okay. I start running in. I'm like, Grins, it's got her! It's got her! I come running up and
and then she drops down and she goes, no, and it goes, and it starts dragging her faster. More hands start to crap around, over in front as it starts to reel through and pull faster.
Oh boy. So I mean, how close am I at this point? Because Matt went ahead of me.
Oh yeah, you reach and you're like,
grab the girl! Grab the girl!
I'm chasing, but I am guessing I only see the child.
she cut you.
So I'm very
So
confused.
you go out. Oh yeah. You see like rocks near you get like crushed by, and you're like, the fuck. And she's like, no. And then she comes up a bit more, and oh, that's the weirdest thing. Grins. You kind of slow down as you start to see these pale hands on the end of these long tendrils reaching past you, a few of them hovering around. One of the faces are literally chattering by your head, a good 10 feet away, as the main one has it dislocated its jaw and it has its mouth wide open. You can almost feel, it's almost like when you walk inside and the cicadas has stopped. And you're like, oh, this is what silence actually sounds like. As the sound has stopped, it goes devour the child.
Can I? Do I see enough to try to make a attack of some kind against the thing?
It is trying to eat. You both have a surprise round.
All right.
Quest remembered. Destruction of the false Hydra.
All right.
Okay. So we can both do a. You said we have a surprise round.
Yeah. So whichever you guys decide you want to do or think is cool, or just do the standard like attack bonus action nope spell.
Nope spell.
I'm gonna go ahead and try to cast Hypnotic Pattern in the area that this thing is in.
Oh. Yes. What is the save for that?
Let's see. The save for that would be a 16 Wisdom.
This is not a very wise. Did you guys get to see that one?
No.
Oh, then good. I'll do it again. Perfect. Oh.
Oh, dang it.
It doesn't have any ads either in Wisdom, so it's not a wise creature. So you can see, I mean, it hits it. It affects the thing. You can see the chattering head kind of as it kind of reels away, shakes hard, and you can see it kind of like the mouth kind of like is trying to hold out, and it kind of shuts and chatters a bit, and kind of looks over.
Okay.
No.
I think I just used up my turn.
Yeah. I am probably going to throw another fireball at it. Oh, interesting. Produce flame as an action is... Okay, yeah, no, I think I can do that. Okay, I'm going to produce another flame in my hand and cast it at the Hydra thing.
Yeah.
Try and hit it with something that won't hurt the girl, but will do damage. So I've got bigger stuff, but a lot of its area of effect. So.
Well, yeah, it's very large. So it's
okay.
a good 20 feet of just mass, blobbing, fleshy mass.
Okay.
With limbs and such.
Well, in that case, I would like
one of it. Go ahead.
I would like to cast a Cruel Sun. And try to target farther enough back that I won't hit the girl. It's got a 20-foot sphere, so I'm thinking if I shoot halfway down or a bit over halfway down, she should be safe. It's grasping at her.
Yeah, so Zendira, like you start like the last time with the produce flames. You're like yeah, and then it's almost like both you and Semyaza kind of just corporeal behind you both go nope, and you're like and this thing goes
Semyaza's like, here, try this.
you're like nope, pink, and you're like, it's just, like nope, and you're just like no. Yeah. Oh man, Caboose.
Looks like it's a dexterity saving throw of 14.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
a negatory on its dexes. It took the full brunt of the.
Yes, 6d6, 6d6 radiant damage. So let's see what we can do. Okay, that was 22 damage.
It comes screeching down, and you can see anywhere all the places the sun touches starts to like just kind of burn away into ash. The hands or they burn that are like reaching out, that were tendriling out to drag it around, kind of burn away, and they snap and reel back like broken cords. Uh, it cries as it smacks the bottom of this thing, charring the whole underside. It goes and it drops the girl, more so the hand drop, and it goes to roll forward, literally almost rolling over the neck, or rolling over the neck of the main head, just kind of rolling around to keep, rolling around to pull the wounded spot away from you guys. Another head comes lapping forward and then picking itself back up. The other one kind of pulling back away from Grins as they both kind of snapping around. So, yeah, so it goes, rolls around.
The light of Semyasa will be your undoing!
For its lair action, in your vicinity, you get a mild rumble, and 4 hands come sprouting out of the ground about 10 feet from you guys.
Oh boy.
All kind of snapping and reaching, with long blade-like claws. Roll for initiative.
All right.
I got a 21.
Oh,
Okay.
I got a nat 1 plus 1.
Hey, hey. Semyaz is like, I'm tired. You tired? Okay.
Boring.
I'm done. Okay. 16. All right. No, I'm going to 16. So, Grins at the top of the round.
All right.
Now that the thing has stopped singing, you can see all of its glory.
I'm like, well, Z, you did see something. You win. About how far away is the child?
It is holding it like with like 2 of its hands that sprout from like one kind of like longer mass that kind of comes up, and that whole thing kind of hit the edge and it kind of rolled down in front of it, and she's like slowly kind of like crawling out from underneath it, because she has no legs, and I would say she's a good 30 feet from you. The whole thing's about 40 feet from you, and it takes up another good 30 to 40 feet of the hallway behind it.
Okay.
It kind of rolled up to you after Zendira hit.
Is it still on fire?
It got hit by radiant damage. It is toasty and burnt. It's got 3rd-degree burns all over the place.
Okay, yeah, no, I was reading the Cruel Sun description.
It does keep them on fire. Yeah. Yeah, it is on fire. It's done more damage than it thought it would. And it's trying to roll its way to put the fire out. You can see it kind of massaging itself up against the ground, rocking around. The flames flying underneath it as it's trying to put the part of its bodily mass that's been lit. Good 20 feet of it, so a lot.
All right, well, Grins is gonna go ahead and seeing the child, and where are these hands that are 10 feet away? Are they like behind me, around me?
There's one that's kind of like off to your left, so I would say, yeah, 10 feet catty corner, and then there's one that's kind of behind you directly.
All right, well, you said I can see it now. Can I hear the whispers?
It has stopped its nasty song.
All right, well, in that case, Grins is gonna go ahead and, he looks down further into the caves, kind of glances at the hands, rolls up his sleeves, starts walking towards the girl, and as he does, Grins is gonna start whispering back for second level dissonant whispers.
Ooh. More wisdom for this idiot. Maybe? What's that? What's that?
Okay, there we are. Lost you guys for a moment there.
Possibly still in the room. The chair. Oh.
So was that a 14?
Is it possible to drop in? That was a good time. All right.
Is it working?
So,
It's working now.
Hey.
So, in the pouch, in your in your quiver was just the javelins. It seems when it went to reach for you, you had fought it off with your spear. Seeing the bright light on one side, you kind of opened your eyes and like, I will not be food, and just shoved the spear out the one way, and kind of rolled out from underneath it as it goes to roll over you, coughing and spitting, covered in this pussy blood.
Dragonborn?
Thank you. Thank you. Did you bring
Yes.
my javelins?
Yes, L. By the way,
These
Zendagra,
are your javelins?
Oh, by the when you saved from the song, you remembered the Dragonborn, and you're like, oh gosh, that's why you're like, oh my goodness, it ate them. It ate them. Oh my goodness, we need to go down there. It ate them all.
So did I hit him with my dissonant whispers?
Yes, did I roll? No, I haven't rolled yet.
Was that the 14?
No, this is
Okay.
the 9. It failed.
All right. So that does 46 psychic damage for a 13. And then the creature is required to use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from me.
Oh yeah. So it, both of its heads like smack each other, and they kind of snap a bit, and then they kind of reel back as it rolls 20 feet. It rolls the 20 feet back that it can with its reaction.
And the whole time, like I said, I'm gonna move towards the child.
Yeah,
and
you get so closer in the hand, kind of like is like rolling with it as it kind of gets to the point where it no longer touches the ground. Now it's just kind of like laying on the body, the fat blob is just kind of laying there.
And as I walk towards the child, I just keep whispering, Do I have any recollection of the whispery spell that it was casting on me now that I do I have any memory of it coming back, or is it just like weird and blank still?
Roll me a history check.
All right.
Doesn't matter if it's low.
It's just a 12.
Yeah, because it would be based off of its, and it's not that high. So, with a 12, yeah, it's weird. About, you remember heading out from the glade crater with Ovlin and Carol and Choro, and about 5 miles from the town, you kind of just forgot who you were looking for. And then when you guys got into town, you figured you'd just rest up and try to remember what you guys were doing there. And then you woke up to 2 of you gone. 1 of you gone. It's almost like you missed the whole fight in the inn room. You guys woke up scared because it ate Choplin that night. And then you talked with, and Ilix talked with you for a bit, and then you guys got up and ready to go, and Ilix wasn't there anymore.
Oh yeah, Ilix. Okay, well I'm gonna use the rest of my move action to move to the child and try to start helping it get out of there while I'm whispering the entire time at the monster. Stay away from the child, get away from me.
Ilix, you go and watch Grins come running up. You're like, oh, thank goodness. And he like kind of jaunts the and goes and grabs your child.
What the heck?
I'm like, Ilix, come on! No time for breaks.
Question for the dungeon master: did I take any damage at any point while I was AWOL?
I would say about 10 damage altogether.
10-4.
Because you went and with your pokey stick avoided the main chompers, and then it just kind of decided to pelican you whole, so that it could start its song back up. As it was not having the initial time you all fought it, that you all don't even remember. Did not like that.
I thought that song was annoying from the outside.
Yeah. So, Alex, roll me initiative.
Already did. Got a 12.
Okay. So then Ovlin, real quick, will then cast, because he has a few of the hands around him. He's like, oh, those look sharp, and he scrolls out a few bits, and it looks like he draws some things, and then off the pages comes a few little swords and daggers, and they kind of like whirl around him a bit. It's like, all right, I'm ready. And then it's Ilix's turn. Ilix, you're on one knee now at this point.
All right.
About 20 feet away from the Hydra. As it is rolled back off from around you.
I'm like,
the big sore spot that you burnt out is now exposed. The neck is stretching from its main head as it's trying to roll off from on top of it, and the head kind of snaps out and just.
All right.
I hold up Ilix's quiver of javelins, and I'm like, Dragonboard!
Thank you. I'll be right there. And as
like,
Ilix,
we weren't gonna keep him honest.
As Ilix stands up, how far away is the Hydra at this point?
About 20 feet from you. 20, 15.
And you said it has about 20 feet of movement?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So since leveling up, Ilix took a new spell. So Ilix is going to cast Silence on the Hydra to prevent it from starting up its song again. And then bonus action. Well, I guess Katya isn't summoned right now, is she? Darn it, I would have to use my action for that. Okay. We're going to leave it at that for actions for now, and I don't have any bonus action spells. So he's going to maintain concentration on that and then head towards Zendira to get the javelins.
So we're not summoning Katya yet?
It was more important to get the silence up to keep it from trying to get us to forget.
Good. So for one of its legendary actions.
Oh no.
One of its heads. You can see it shake. Silence has a saving throw, yes? Or is that
no?
An area?
Silence just straight up creates an area of silence. There is no saving throw for it.
It's done. So
it's a done deal.
What's the area of effect?
It's a 20-foot sphere.
Perfect. So you can see one of its heads coming out towards you, and then it is noticing that it's not making any noises. It's very muffled. All you can hear is the very end of the loud chattering as it smacks its teeth together. And then its neck hits the edge, and then you can see the teeth almost like it's chattering amongst itself. You can start to see the inner row of teeth on the inside as the outer teeth start to chatter about silently, as it is right on the inside of its sphere of influence. And it frustratingly pulls its head back. See, and I have that one. 2 others. All right. Zendira, it's your turn. You got the 2.
Okay. So I am going to summon.
Ilix reaches you by now. Yeah.
No, I hand him his javelins.
Yeah.
I'm gonna summon an ice blade and just chuck it as hard as I can at this horrible creature. And I'm going to cast that at 3rd level. So let's see here. Got a +6 to hit with this. Come on. That will be an 18.
That hits.
All right. So ice knife, because I cast it at 3rd level. And that will be 3d10 damage. See if it automatically adds this. Or I have to. Okay, I'll have to roll 2 more. So that's 6 plus. I'm gonna have to manually roll 2 more d10.
Yup.
Plus. Well, that's 20. It's another 16.
22. So
that's 22.
22. And then so it smacks the neck as it is chattering, and it comes to one side and it hits the side, and it shakes violently, and it explodes for. I think ice knife explodes.
Oh yeah. Oh, did I get the?
I think it's like 8, like a D8 or something.
I may have gotten that wrong. Sorry. When you get spelled using a spell slot. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I actually rolled that wrong.
Yeah.
So 1d10 piercing damage, and then does 1d6. Then does 2d6 explode, and an additional d6 for each slot above at second level or higher. So it would have been 6 damage piercing. Now I need 4d6 for explode.
So two more d6.
I haven't rolled any d6. I rolled d10.
Oh, yeah,
I multiplied the
4d6.
wrong thing. So the first d10 roll was correct. I didn't roll any of the explosion damage.
Yes. Okay. So 4d6 explosion damage.
So yeah, I've only done 6 damage with the first d10 roll so far.
Yeah.
That was still pretty good. That's 6, 10, 15.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that
Awesome.
was only one less. Yeah.
Good, because then it hits a few others. So you hit the one, and it kind of shakes a little bit, and then on both ends you can see it kind of glow and kind of like it starts to spike a bit, and then it splatters everywhere. Shards hit a couple other faces, hits the neck all the way down, pierces a few spots of its gangly flesh in the center. And now 2 of his heads are looking directly at you. It is effing tired of all the damage you were causing this thing. So
muted. I hit it, and I'm like, oh crap.
So they slowly pull away.
I whisper a prayer to the lady under under my breath as soon as the heads turn to me.
As it cannot roll any closer, Grins is literally holding the front line. It cannot roll any closer. It 2 of its heads, for its legendary action, comes rushing up, and you can hear the hard clacking, very muffled. And they reach the end of the neck as it stretches as far as it can, and you can see the teeth start to chatter out, to no effect as it is silenced. As it really tried. The more heads it can use, the harder the DC is to avoid its chatter.
Whoop whoop.
Nice.
So its round will start as it had the one. The hands near, there is one that goes and starts rushing through the ground, and gets up to attack distance to use Indira, and begins to scrape you out, or reach out to you with its claws. For a 13.
That will hit.
Ooh.
I'm right next to him, right?
Yes, because you grabbed the stuff.
All right. Defensive armaments per Samyas's guide, which will add 3 to Andy's AC as a glowing radiant greatsword reaches out to intercept the strike.
Semyasa's still kind of just sitting out back there, but like, yeah, fuck this thing. And it looks out like, oh, get out of here. They're like, stop that. Oh, all right.
Nice.
So that adds how much?
My proficiency bonus, so +3 to his AC.
And my armor class is 12.
So that goes, yeah.
That puts him up to 15.
No.
Nice. Nice.
As the claws reach out, come down, and it basically like slaps it back. Kind of it screeches as the blood kind of comes out from the hands.
I must thank you. Remember to bring my javelins.
I whisper a prayer of thanks to the Lady of the Wood after Semyasa saves me.
Am I a joke to you? So let's see. for a 13 does not hit. Right. Ovlin, how squishy are you, Ovlin? Oh, 11. Okay.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can only do that once, and he has to be right next to me.
Oh. Ovlin, how squishy are you? Oh, you're fine. So yeah, Elix, you're like, I got you, and then like maybe like 20 feet off to the left or to the right, I was like, oh, that's really heady. Just right behind him as this thing rakes the back, and he kind of tumbles forward a bit. His little shadow friend comes rushing in, with the book, and just kind of hovering over and documents the damage that was taken. And he goes, that, not that one. Scratch that one off. So you sassy ghost. Yeah. And then it is Grim's turn at the top of the round. As now a few of the hands start to move into fighting distance. You have one now that is 5 feet from you.
All right, good to know. As I'm observing this Hydra, do I recognize any, like, bits of individuality showing in its many heads?
Yes. None that you recognize, even with remembering. It has had quite some time from the boneyard you guys walked by, um, to acquire uh, sustenance.
But am I able to determine whether these heads are acting somewhat on their own?
Yes. Um, in like a weird cooperative way. Um, you can tell that they'll look at different things and they'll do something on their own. Um, but it also has instances where um, it almost seems like a few of them agree, and then they join their collective portions of the mass uh, to come after something.
Okay. One final question.
Mm-hmm.
These hands that are around me, what size do they count as for the creature that they are?
They are small
Dang it. All right, thanks.
because they kind of match the height. The one around Ilix is a bit taller because it just pulls up further out of the ground.
Gotcha. All right, and you said there's one within 5 feet of me.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm going to take a swing at it with my rapier.
Oh. Roll me an attack to see what we got.
That will be a 16.
Oh yeah, that hits.
All right, then I will do 1d8 plus 3 piercing damage, and we'll go ahead and add 3d6 psychic damage after that, just to make sure this thing goes down. So we're starting with 4 piercing damage. And then I'll expend the Bardic Inspiration. And roll 3d6 psychic for an extra 11 damage after that.
Grin's kind of like, it's like, the hand's kind of like, eh. And you're like, like bursts out psychedelic. As it squeals and then kind of like recesses back into the hole it came from.
And then I'm going to. Have I reached the child? You said she was about 30 feet away.
Yeah, if you
Okay.
do the distance, yeah.
All right, then
It
I'm
reacts and rolls away from you some more. As it wastes this reaction to move away from you some more.
Gotcha. I'm gonna. I guess I've used my action, but I'm gonna stick with the child and get ready to try to run away with her. If I can't.
Yeah, you can pick her up.
Okay, I'm gonna pick her up and move as far as I can away from the main Hydra without provoking any attacks of opportunities from hands sticking out of the ground. So however far that'll get me.
Rolls back a little bit. For its legendary action, one of its heads comes rolling out from underneath as it rolls away, and it snaps out and then comes up to your face, literally inches, and starts to chatter. You being also within the sphere of the silence, now that you've gotten that close, it doesn't happen again, and it frustratingly slaps its head on the ground a few times as it rolls back. Dang, that was a good call.
Nice.
It has 2 legendary
Alex
actions.
just spent, what, 30, 40 minutes with it while everybody else was chasing it?
Okay.
So then it is... Ovlin will spend his turn getting up off the ground and dusting off. And then he starts searching through his bag for something. It is Ilix's turn.
Okay. So, first order of business, Ilix is going to summon. Am I within 30 feet of the Hydra?
Not
Hello?
anymore.
Not anymore. Okay. Well, he's going to summon Katya as close as he can.
Okay. You can
hold
still
on.
be on it. I guess you're about 30 feet from one of the necks now, because one of them reached out to talk to Grins.
Gotcha. I want to summon Katya reasonably. If she can be within 30 feet of pretty much everybody, that would be great.
That would be like around where Grins is at.
Darn.
So you can
Pardon
do
me.
that.
Yeah.
Or you can move up like 10 feet and have it have it hit on him and still be within 30 feet of everybody.
Okay. Yeah.
As Katya shows up, grins, mouths, but of course no sound comes out. Just howdy, Katya.
So she is now on the field, and I want her to be within 30 feet of as many people as possible, but she's also going to make an attack.
All right.
So
we'll do the attack roll and damage.
Give me a second. Go. Yeah. Which it does eat up Ilix bonus action to commander to do that. Ooh, nat 20 on the attack.
Ooh.
So I'm trying to.
Nice.
The actual D&D Beyond app that I'm working out of doesn't actually give me her stat block, so I'm trying to do it off of memory. I think at level 6, she's still just dealing the piercing damage. So it should be a d6. Nat 20. 1. 1 piercing damage, and I did summon her with lightning damage. So blue. A blue hue to that opal scale.
Mr. DM, you are muted.
Aha! So yeah, almost looks like lapis, where it has like deep striations through deep blue stone. That every now and then light looks like lightning down. As the shadow starts to swirl up the neck of the one that starts to chatter in front of Grins, spirals up into her form as she lands on top of his head and starts scraping at it. It was like trying to gouge its eyes out. Do we only do 1 damage? We do 1 plus.
Well, it was a natural 20, so 2 damage.
And then
I'm trying to pull it up somewhere else where I can actually get the stat block instead of trying to do it all from memory. There it is. There we go. Okay. Light. Oh, plus proficiency bonus. So 2. So 5 damage total.
Oh. So yeah, it's scraping at the face, and the Hydra kind of reels back, kind of shrugs her off, kind of falls over, gets and hops up on her feet, a good 10 feet away from Grins.
Okie doke.
The head kind of reels back a bit.
That eats up everything that I've got to do.
All right. For a lair action, we'll do that one. So, out of some of the holes, you can see these small, almost look like pill bugs of these white, fleshy cysts. They roll out of the ground and out of these holes off the side. They just kind of fall. At least about 10 of them throughout holes in the area. And as they roll in, they kind of flatten out, and you can see them start to squirm along the floor. They just kind of sit and then pulse on the ground between you guys and the Hydra.
Are they between like us and Grins, or they're on the Hydra side still?
2 of them are.
Okay.
Just right a good in between, so about 10 feet from everybody. They just kind of sit around. And that will be Indira's go.
Okay. Are there 2 within 5 feet of each other?
Yeah, off to the left, there's one that's like
Maybe I should ask like this: are the 2 between us and Grins within 5 feet of each other?
No.
Dang it.
They're spaced a bit. About 15, maybe 10, in between there.
Okay. either.
Is it like a target one and then the one?
I
right
was
to it?
hoping to hit them both with Ice Knife. But it's only a 5-foot
Well,
sphere.
is really the Ice Knight the only 5 feet?
Yeah, it looks like.
Dang.
60-foot range, but a 5-foot sphere. So.
Technically,
It's 10 feet, Andy.
Well,
it's 10 feet because
5
it's
foot radius.
within 5 feet of where you hit.
Yeah.
yeah, that's doable.
Okay.
Especially if you don't mind missing the first initial one.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'd rather. Because I'd have to target the ground between them, I would imagine, to get them both with the explosion.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so how far is it between to run up to one, like distance wise from me? The ones between us and Grins.
10 feet.
10 feet. Okay.
The first one, yeah. The one that's closer to you, yeah.
I am. Now, I believe that I can still use Shillelagh with my staff thing, my upgraded staff.
Yeah.
Okay. I might try to Shillelagh it. Though honestly, it's probably not as good as just trying to blast it with a produce flame. Sorry, I'm looking at my options. I am going to. I'm gonna try to run up to one of the ones closer. If there's two of them, I'm gonna go to the one on my right, and I'm going to just like smash it with my staff and Shillelagh. So it's a +6 to hit. So let's see. Oof, that's only a 12. You muted.
That hits.
Okay,
You're
cool.
good.
So with Shillelagh, it's going to be 1d8 + 3. For 8.
These things are ostensibly physically part of the Hydra, correct?
No.
No.
But yes.
All right.
They were.
Well, 8 damage.
All right.
Yeah, so you smack one.
Is Z in within 30 feet of Katya?
Now, yes.
Oh.
Okay. Infused strike. That's going to be an additional d6 of lightning. Ooh, the full 6.
There you
nice.
go. So 8 bludgeoning and 6 lightning.
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
Oh yeah. Flats. Roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Okay. Come on. Looks like that's going to be a 12. Yeah.
Oh, just enough.
Yay.
Oh,
nice.
It splats, and you kind of like as it kind of hits the back and kind of sprays more so the other direction of your hit, and starts to sizzle the ground.
Okay.
The other one near it kind of pulses a little more, and then also none of you guys are close enough to the 5 foot around, and it's around the area.
Does it look like it's like just like the blood of these creatures, or would I?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's like a pussy blood, and then it kind of just sizzles the ground.
Would I deduce that it's the same blood of the Hydra?
Yes, but that has not done the same.
Okay. Guys, they have acid blood. Let's kill this thing and get
What
out of
kind
here.
of alien creature is this?
Grins looks
Alien?
back over his shoulder and just goes,
Uh,
You're definitely going to have to get out of that zone of silence if you're going to do any more of your magic.
Grits, I
So-
can't hear you.
Let's see. Grins took down his hand. There's the hand that's still not next to Zendaya anymore, but cannot use its reaction to come at you guys because it's consistently using that to run away from you guys. So one of the hands kind of moves up to Ilix and swings out on its turn for a 3. So it kind of like it barely reaches. It's just kind of misses. And then there's one starts to move into your range, Zendira, and then another one starts to move in, or the other one starts to move into your range. Grins. This is kind of placed 2 onto each of you. I think there is now. So you got 101. There's that one. 3 of them left now. The Hydra's distantly staying out of your range.
all right.
It's Grin's turn.
Okay, so am I within striking distance of said hand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then. As my bonus action, I will disengage because I'm a goblin, so I can do that. As I start. How far can I travel while carrying the child?
What's your normal 30?
Normal speed?
Yeah, you got normal speed 30.
35.
25?
35.
25.
Okay. So I am going to start
It's like-
walking back.
Just like almost your size. Just like almost.
So dodging the hand and walking back carrying the child, Grins is obviously having a very long dialogue by himself inside of his zone of silence, and as he comes out, lots of complaining words to the effect of course, have the little guy carry the little person because that just makes so much sense. And as he's struggling to get his 25 feet away, when he gets to the end of that, he's gonna go ahead and chuck another Dissonant Whispers at 2nd level at the Hydra. Or wait, are there any bugs in between me and the Hydra? Like, how close are those things?
The one behind you has already exploded.
Okay, so I've gotten 25 feet away from other ones, hypothetically at least.
Yeah, and you kind of met up with everybody else.
Alright, then yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and, if I'm still within 60 feet of the Hydra, I'll throw Dissonant Whispers at it.
Not to put a damper on that, but I think the Hydra has to be able to hear for that to be effective.
Oh, yeah, but you muted it. Okay, it's also deafened in that area, isn't it?
Yeah.
Or is it just muted?
It should just mute sounds.
It's basically a 20-foot sphere where there is no sound at all.
So not just sounds produced
Okay, so they're also
inside.
deaf.
Yeah, nothing in, nothing out.
Alright, no worries. we will.
It is not in the sphere of influence.
Ironically,
It has rolled.
while
It
talking
has
about
rolled 20 feet back outside of the influence.
ironically,
Its head reached. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I said ironically, while talking about who's muted, I was talking to a muted mic.
Oh.
Sorry.
But
So
no, it has since moved outside of the sphere of influence.
can I hear the chattering of the Hydra?
It has not chattered yet.
Can I hear it moving around or anything?
Oh yeah, it's skittering back there.
All right, if I can hear it, then I will cast Dissonant Whispers.
How wide is the tunnel that we're in?
It is 80 feet
Oh, okay.
in diameter.
I was gonna say if it's no more than 20 feet wide, it should still be blocking it from coming down the alley to us. But if it's that wide, then yeah.
It almost takes up the whole size. This is its
Okay.
movement tunnel that you guys are in.
Cool. Then whisper away, Grins.
That's a Wisdom save of 16.
It got an 8
Excellent.
plus 0.
Well, we will do the 4d6 for a 14. And if it has a reaction, it's got to move as far away as it can as I continue to whisper, away from me, away from the child.
You can see, like, from where ears should be, the bluey, pus-filled veins that run up and down the translucent white skin pulse with, like, this purple, like it's pumping purple through the veins. And in spaces just burst down a few of its necks as they kind of squeal and roll around, since dropping a good chunk of its meal undigested, does not get its fifth head. Anything else Grins can do?
I think I've moved, used my bonus action, and used my normal action, so I think that wraps it up for me.
All right. Oslin will Eldritch Blast.
That doesn't look good for us.
And miss both terribly. All right, Ilix.
All right. Well, Ilix is loath to lose the benefit of the silence spell. And so he's actually going to move up into it. It's not going to, which means that the silence spell is not going to stop the Hydra's song from affecting anybody else outside, but he knows at least he won't be affected by it because he won't be able to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
And then
watch out for the hand that's in there.
Good point. Actually,
Hansel.
Right before moving in there, how close am I to Ilix and Zendira and the guy whose name I didn't catch because my internet was spotty earlier?
Oglin.
Oglin. How close am I to those three?
Unless you moved into the sphere, so everybody else.
Well, before I move into the sphere, how close am I?
Everyone's within about 5-10 feet of each other. Now, because Grins has moved back a bit. And then if you move about 20 feet in front of everybody, kind of where Katya's at.
Okay. Action. I'm going to go ahead and cast Aid on Grins and Z and the child. So they'll all get a 5 hit point buff to their max. So that is cast.
So like a 5.
She doesn't.
So you guys have
legs,
an
but she throws a third one.
So 5 temporary hit points.
No, they are not temporary hit points. It is an increase to your max hit points. You can still
Yeah.
get 10 hit points on top of this.
Yeah.
How long does this last?
8 hours.
Nice.
Non-concentration. They're there to stay.
Dang.
I don't
For
even
And
know.
then from there, he's going to direct Katya to go ahead and make another attack right before he moves into the zone of silence. And that's his
I'm gonna
bonus
say
action.
before you direct Katya, I'm gonna say, don't get too close to the target or whatever, something like that.
Well, it's rolled out of the sphere, and Ilix is just moving into the sphere on this side.
I won't say.
So
too
they're
much more.
still.
I don't want to hurt
There's
Katya.
still at least. There's at least 20 feet between Ilix and the Hydra because he's just in this edge on this side, so he can't hear, but there's still distance. And then, so that was action, bonus action to command Katya. Katya makes her attack, which is not near as good as the one before. That's a total of 11 to hit.
Misses.
Darn. Okay. And that is it for Ilix.
Yeah, she grabs on. She like bites hard down on like a little hand that's like hanging out and like rips it off, and it doesn't really do anything. Now she's just got a chew toy.
Wait, so was Katya attacking the hand or the thing itself, the Hydra itself?
The thing itself.
Okay.
Just ripped off,
Katya
like,
is going out directly after the Hydra.
Yeah, she gripped onto like a vestigial hand. It's just kind of like, it looks like a person hand, and just kind of like growing out. She kind of pulls it off, but it doesn't do anything. Now she's just like chew toying it. So
And that wraps it for Ilix.
that's Ilix. Zendira.
Okay. So we've covered that this thing's pretty big.
Yeah.
Can I target can I see kind of the back of it past Katya?
Yeah, it's like a
Okay.
large slug.
Okay. I'm like, dang it, Katya! As I start to summon Cruel Sun one last time at my fingertips and like blast it out.
If you have anything lightning based, she's completely immune to that.
Well, this is massive. No, I don't have lightning based. So I'll go ahead and cast that. It's a dexterity save of 14.
God, no dexterity. Oh, that's
Oh,
2.
so it's gonna be another.
Does Katya need to make that too?
No,
Yeah, I think I was
think
able to
it-
target far enough away. So
it's like 80
Okay.
feet slug thing.
all right, come on. That
So-
was
so yeah,
was
you-
heckin' good. 28.
Oh,
I was
So-
like, don't get Katya too close. I don't want to burn her. Also, I think I missed this
Oh.
before. He's on fire, and at the start of his next turn, he takes 2d6 fire damage, if I'm reading this correctly.
yeah.
Successful night.
So for the last one, as it rolled over to burn it out, give me 1 2d6
Okay.
for when it was on fire. It started its turn.
That's another 9.
Look at that heckin' damage. It's burning.
I didn't even
away.
remember taking this spell. I was just looking at my spells like, ooh, what's this? I'm like, oh, well, that looks good.
And I like this. I love this dynamic here. So it's basically Zendira like goes like, these fireballs, these produce flame balls. So you like toss it, and then like it's like halfway through, like
Symbiosis just goes,
Semyaza's kind of looking at it like, nope. It's like max it hard. The lady of the forest, she watches after me. You're welcome.
yeah, I imagine Sucklaugh comes back and he's like, so Semyasa, what did I miss?
And they're like little like round table of the gods. It's kind of like, oh, this is You could take over, but this is just more fun for me, even if he doesn't know.
Nice.
So yeah, just smacks about 28 damage. So yeah, looking real rough.
I will also walk closer to um uh the girl and grins. So
Yeah, definitely like it's like a weird dynamic. She's been like down in this like area watching it walk by her, keeping quiet for who knows how long she's been bleeding out. And now it's like you guys pull her away from it and are slowly like fireballing the fuck out of this thing and sending it back through a tunnel. Um, looks pretty feeling pretty good about she's feeling pretty good about her situation now, you know. Probably you can see the hope in her eyes. Probably for the first time in maybe a week. Has she got lucky one time for her saving throw and was able to see this thing just eat people for like a few days. Um, oh yeah, his terrible things. Uh, yeah, so you get a good come down. It like rolls
Is there any
down the side.
therapists in the Great Expanse?
Right? Um, PTSD isn't a thing in fantasy worlds. So uh, the ball kind of rolls by. And watches it go, as it hits the side, and one of the necks is like the pulls comes out from the side of that area. It hits it hard, and it kind of burns up, and you can see the head that's like kind of hovering sort of over you guys. It burns all the way up, and the head kind of like snaps, and like hits the ground, kind of moves away. And the blood and its body and viscera start to pool down into this black, viscous muck on the ground. That removes one of its heads. On its
sure that won't
turn,
grow back.
on its turn, it will attempt to devour Katia.
Oh, don't you do that. Don't you do that.
24.
Gee, I don't know. Maybe it hits. Yes.
I was like, I haven't been doing too well, and it's like 19. So it comes over and like Katya watches the fireball fly through the air, goes, oh, and then immediately gets rocked by like the cheekbone of one of them. Kind of rolls down and it grabs the back end of her and kind of slams her once or twice while she's in its jaws. Move out of the way.
How much damage my girl take? 13?
Yep.
Alright. She's still up.
And she is now grappled by the maw of the false hydra.
Noted.
And then that is now Grin's turn. As you can literally see the false hydra just like slamming its own head on the ground to shake Katya. No regard, complete disregard for its own well-being.
Green's is like, dang it, Alex loves that thing. Like, okay. Let's see, how many hands are there around us right now?
About 3 of them. Okay. You guys have been moving around, so they've been slowly like going one place and then moving back to, and now they're kind of closing in on you guys.
Okay, well, Grins is going to go ahead and... Yeah, that thing's on fire. So that's not a great idea.
Another 2d6.
Oh, no. Yep.
Because it has not rolled
Yep.
its way out this time.
12.
Boom!
like,
shakalaka.
It's like it's on fire. It's like, I'm fine. I don't need to put this out.
All right.
It is falling apart, guys. Go ahead, Grins.
So these hands again, where are they in relation to us currently?
There's one that was following you around that slowly 10 feet at a time kind of drags its way from in front of you guys. It's about 10 feet away, closing into that 5. And then there's 2 to the side. One that is afraid to strike at Ilix because of it gotten blocked the last time. And then another one that was near Zendira, at a closer range, and then had to continue to move because Zendira came to you guys where you're at with the little girl. So now you got about 2 within 10 feet of you.
Okay. And could I fit them both in a 15-foot cube without putting one of my party members in there?
Yeah, you would just have to set back about 5 feet. Zendira's a bit behind you, so you would step back from the 5 feet next to him, and then you would just...
All right. Well, I am going to continue carrying the child closer to the Zendira, so move those 5 feet, and then we'll go ahead and throw a Thunder Wave at first level to try to get a couple of those hands.
Like you almost leave like a Rasengan, and you just kind of like, and this stays here. Now. Yeah, so out in front of you just waves out. Both the hands they're kind of like flap. They back and forward, and then they both kind of flap around, and then slide their way down to droid. For how much?
It's 2d8 damage. Or the con save?
Oh yeah, no, they didn't save it all.
Okay. So 2d8 damage for 12.
Yeah. Hands can't save. They don't have stats of their own.
Excellent.
They're minions. We'll bring that back from 3.5. Anyway.
And then we'll just say, let's see, Ilix is in his little silent place. Let's. Okay, well, about how far away is this thing now from where we're standing?
About 50 feet now.
Okay. I've observed.
Yeah, it's like
what's
like
going
10,
on.
It's like 10, and then like a 20, the 20 sphere, and then like another 10, 20 as it moved away.
All right, well, I'm going to go ahead and yell out towards Katja then. Just some encouraging words like, "You got this, girl." Her. We'll try to prevent that from happening again so she can take 1d8 for Bardic Inspiration.
Nice.
If only Katya was a person.
She looks a little more hopeful.
It's like, kind of whistle.
Katya was a person's like, slam on the ground. She's like,
just yeah, so Grins is like just kind of gives the the dog whistle, girl, you got this. He looks at Zendira, he's like, what? I don't talk to animals much.
I guess I don't have that inherently. I only have it as a spell. I was gonna say I'll translate for him.
And
Alright.
that'll wrap up Grin's turn.
Alright. Ovlin is going to spend his turn going, keep going! I'll make sure I chronicle everything, or... Good job. Good job, everyone!
Grins is like, don't leave out the part where I face down the Hydra practically by myself.
Oh, you can't just flare it a little. Disappears again. Ghost. Alright. So then, Ilix.
All right. So I think one of my javelins got snapped off by the. Oh, doggone it! I'm down to one javelin now, aren't I?
Two. I think there's two of them.
No, because one got broken by the monk when the Knuckleavi attacked, and then one got snapped off when I stuck it into the baby Tarask.
I gotta hit up Tauchu again. Get some more.
Yeah, I know.
Call that motherfucker up.
Okay. Well, that being the case, he's going to throw his last javelin.
Dip it out into the nope juice. Nope juice.
Yep, there you go. And go ahead and make an attack with that. Actually, let's see here. Can I use the Atlatl on this to increase my range? You said he's how far away?
50.
50?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the Atlatl.
Good
Yeah.
trouble.
According to what you have on here, triples the short and doubles the long.
Ah, yes, good.
Okay. So he's gonna fix the javelin to the Atlatl and go ahead and throw that. Which is 19 to hit.
Yeah. This is a lovely motion now with the new pack you got, because you literally can just take the Atlatl, hit the tip of the javelin, reel back and toss.
Nice.
It pulls the whole thing out. You just toss it. It smacks him hard, gives him some damage, and then.
All right. A throw is just going to be the 1d6, right?
Yeah, plus strength or dexterity.
Plus 2. So 7 damage on that, plus whatever damage it does from the nope juice, but I don't know if that's going to do anything. That's where it came from.
Loaded.
Was that? I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I said, and then it exploded.
Oh.
Your javelin from the nope juice. Well, if you guys
straight up exploded.
No, it didn't explode. You know.
Oh. Okay. I was like, Alex is just gonna be weeping silently in this sphere over losing his last javelin.
Oh, those were poorly made javelins.
All right. And then, he'll go ahead and don't necessarily like doing this, but he's going to do the same with the primary spike, which is going to be 17 to hit.
Wait, you just threw two things?
Yes, Ilix has multi-attack.
Nice.
No, and throwing specialist.
Yes, I have the thrown weapon fighting style, which allows me to draw and throw all in one action.
And he gets 2 actions. He gets 2 attack actions. Alright. Yeah, and that's the hit.
17 to hit, yep.
Just hits the big mound.
Alright. And it's 4 damage. Unfortunately, Ilix is too far from Katya for her to use the reaction. She has to be within 30 feet. But
Of you?
yeah, she has to be within 30 feet of whoever attacks.
Right, and she moved up.
She's on the Hydra. So she's 50 feet away. She can't make that reaction, unfortunately.
Last I checked, the Hydra was on her.
Semantics.
I gotta wear one.
How
I'm wearing
it's how it's how the story's written, right? Right, or damn. All right. And then that is Zandara's turn.
Okay.
Oh, hold on. Bonus action to command Katya. She's gonna attack. From within, she's gonna bite at its tongue.
Aren't you muted?
Oh, good question. Can I communicate with her or not if I'm in the silence?
Good
Yes,
question.
because it's supposed to be telepathic, right?
I think it's telepathic. Yeah.
Nice.
Sweet. Okay. Katya's gonna attack. She bites its tongue. Which is gonna be doggone it 11 to hit again. She's really not doing well.
No, she's not. She's in the mouth of a Hydra.
She's got a bardic inspiration for D8 she can use on something too.
Oh snap! Yes. Thank you, Grins. So +4, that's going to bring her up to a 15 to hit.
15 hits the face. Being up.
Sweet. So D6. So that's 7 total piercing damage.
Yeah, it lets her go.
Nice.
It lets her go.
It's like when a dog tries to eat a bee.
Yeah.
All right, and she drops down. She starts to circle around this thing, looking for another opening, and that's it for Ilix.
All right. Then now Zendara.
Okay.
Grins is like, more fireball.
I'm like starting to summon an ice knife and then like make a fireball. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with an ice knife. So how far? It's about 50 feet away at this point.
Yeah.
And like the little pill bug things, like how are they kind of retreating with it, or are they in between still somewheres, or?
There are 4 of them scattered about in front of you.
Okay.
You can see them fairly well.
Okay.
So it's not something that you would generally have issues with, and you can easily walk through and avoid.
Okay. I'll probably move up about 20 feet, avoiding any attacks of opportunity, and then I'm going to hurl an ice knife at it at 2nd level. So that's with +6. Come on. Nat 20 +6 for 26. So
Woo.
Gonna do it right this time. Wait, what the? That's weird. So 0 on a hit. Piercing damage, hit or miss a charge that explodes. If you're within 5 feet, it must succeed on dexterity saving throw. Oh, it does get a dex. Okay, yeah, so. Okay, that makes sense. Using spell slow second level, the cold damage increases. Okay, so. Weird. I'm a little confused because D&D Beyond, when it shows the spell in the 1st level and 3rd level slots, it says 1d10 damage, which is, according to the text, correct. But the button in the 2nd level slot shows 2d10 piercing damage. So looks like a bug. I'm guessing a bug, so I'm just gonna roll 1d10.
I mean, it's 2d10 because you got a nat 20 when you hit. This is an attack, so it was a critical hit. You're doubling your damage there right
It's way smarter than I am. Okay. Okay, well, that's becomes 12 damage. Yeah.
All right, and then
Yeah, right. It just went back to 1d10. That's okay. That's actually pretty cool.
And then it rolled its dexterity saving throw at a 3 plus nothing.
Okay, so it's gonna be, it should be 3d6 cold. Yeah, that's 9. I'm not gonna complain though.
Oh, so
Oh, it's actually perfectly average.
oh, so just parts of it are starting to slop. It doesn't have the energy to put out the flames anymore. The head that Katya was eating on kind of is now just hit face side on the ground, dragging its way back as she's just kind of chewing on its nose and tongue and shit. The ice knife comes screeching through, and its head sees it briefly and then skirts out of the way, and it smacks right at the base of the neck, and then punctures through it, and goes deep into it. It kind of stops, and it gives a weird belch, and you can hear the creakling of like ice freezing from the inside of its mouth, and then the head kind of hits the ground real hard, and then you hear as pieces and shards come flying out from the inside of it. Slowly bleeds out to the floor. Some of the pill bug mass cysts scurry away quickly as the pussy red blood starts to pool into this black, oily, viscous liquid. It has been vanquished.
I kind of
Yeah.
on my staff.
More and more chunks.
Ilix is just mouthing all kinds of words from inside the silence bubble, but nobody has any idea what he's saying.
Do we remember what we were originally looking for?
Yes. So, originally, an archivist, Jonathan Smith, had been taken to do some looking over of an artifact that was here in this town, and had not reported back for months. So, archivist Chorl and librarian Ovlin came to the Cratered Grove to see if any of the other archivists that had set up camp in there had any way to help. You guys had talked to them about it, and he was like, yeah, sure. We'll go real quick. We'll check the archivists, bring back artifacts. All seems like a good idea. Could be a rod, could be a hex rod, might not be. We'll see. And you head out. Promptly forgot about Chorel when you guys got towards the town. Guys spent the day looking through the town. Ran into, check the church, ask around. The church priest was eaten because he was not there. Everyone said that they they feel like they just built the church and they were waiting for the priest to come from another town. He just hasn't shown up yet. Um, you guys remember that? Uh, because now you guys have no clue about the people who asked because uh, they're not there anymore. Um, you guys have been there for 4 days. You remember as it's almost been eating everyone behind you. Uh, you would talk. You had suspicions from an individual who you had found the name to be um, Mike, and you're like, Mike took the guy that we're looking for. We don't remember, but we're going to come after Mike because he seemed real suspicious when you talked to him, and no one could remember Mike when you got to the place, and you couldn't remember who you were looking for, and there had never been a Mike who'd worked at that area in the library or their little bookstore library that you guys were looking through earlier. It's like you start remembering everyone that you went to talk to that just aren't there anymore. Um, one of the individuals you talked to was an older gentleman. Um, you guys had helped the wife of this older gentleman out of the house um, because you guys couldn't figure out why she was living alone in a tore up place. Um, and you guys came back to check on the person you were supposedly talking to the day before. Um, you remember interviewing somebody, and you went to the house. It must have been the old lady, because she's the only one who lives here. Why is she living in such a torn up house? We should get her someplace nice, and held her up inside of the inn. Or Ilix remembers that because Ilix was the one who did that. And both of you don't remember that what the old lady was doing in the room beneath you. Her husband had been eaten for days.
I still think it was the old lady.
I think all goblins have something in for old people.
Nah, for sure not. It's definitely not jealousy. Well, kid, I think the worst is behind you now. We'll get somebody to take a look at your legs for you, and I'm sure you'll be just fine after a good cleric has a look here.
Oh,
Felix is going to go ahead and kneel down and just cure wounds her legs.
Ilix, are you saying something? We can't hear you. I think Ilix is trying to...
Felix walks out of the sphere of silence and leans down next to the girl and says, "It's all right, little one. I believe worst is behind you now." And puts a hand on her knees and casts cure wounds.
Ovlin kind of comes up to you, Ilix, and goes, I don't per se happen that you weren't the only one inside of there, were you?"
Most anything I saw of anybody else was pretty much just shreds of skin and bone.
I figured.
Unless the DM thinks that I saw somebody else.
No, they did. We should get topside then. Have
And,
to find a way out of here.
How far back was it to the entrance we came down?
About 80 feet.
Oh, okay, this is not far.
A couple yards. Yeah. You guys ran up about a couple yards, meet up with the little girl.
Ilix is just gonna kind of glance at Grins as if to ask for permission as he starts to reach his arms underneath the girl to pick her up.
Grins is gonna kind of shoulder in the way, give it a little bit of a nod, but carry her back himself. It's like, I got her this far. I'll get her the rest of the way there.
I knew you had soft spot.
Nah.
The pile still turning black, oozing, steaming, almost heaving.
You don't think that it ate anything that... You don't think it ate anybody who had anything that, could survive that and maybe still be valuable, do you?
You want to cut into that?
Nah.
Both,
But if somebody wants to light it on fire one more time, it wouldn't hurt my feelings at all.
both Ovlin and Semyaza, corporeal, like barely visible force, both like, no, probably not.
All right. Cool. So we get back to where we jumped down, and I'm like, "Hey, somebody, throw a rope!"
I think there's a ladder on the
is
side,
there a ladder?
isn't there?
Well, we jumped down to begin with.
There's a ladder that goes down about halfway
Okay.
to the bottom of the original sewer system, and then it kind of goes down another like 40 feet and curls.
Ilix has a climb speed equal to his walking speed. He's just gonna chunk, 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 chunk up the side of the wall. And then he's gonna drop a rope down.
To the, tie it on the stairs, on the ladder.
Yep.
Go ahead and climb out then.
Yeah, no, I'm not staying down here any longer than I have to.
Townsfolk starts to, you can hear them whispering and a bunch of cries, and calls out to names they've now recently remembered, loved ones that were eaten, friends that they don't remember, people they had once seen before and never saw or thought about again.
Well, this is a cheery place, isn't it?
People relieved, crying almost hysterically that they are not crazy, that they do act, there was actually someone they were remembering, stuff like that. And then there's like a deep rumbling, a deep, soft rumbling. It's getting
That thing was dead, right?
getting very late. The sun is gone. The deep rumbling gets bigger, and then you can hear crashing through the ground. Some in distant areas. These large, white, eyeless faces, large, toothy grins. The head reaches high above, like pylons high above the city. And they start to wail loud.
I don't think we should stay here. I think actually everyone should leave.
And deep in the distance comes rushing in a large orb. And it's soft, and it's pale, and it glows. and it feels like it gets bigger, but it comes from a great distance. And then from the outward, way out from the other side of the walls, a single arrow comes rushing through the air and smacks the orb, and it undulates a bit and then pops, and streams of light come rushing down and annihilates the town in front. You can see the rushing destruction, the explosions, the rubble rushing faster and faster at you guys. Behind, the sides, beams coming down, destroying houses. And then blackness. You all wake up. And you're in the grove. And it's morning. And there are birds of different degrees making noises and subtle chirps of some bugs. The sun warming the leaves around you. You can hear the soft rustling of people picking up things off the ground, and the hammer here and there. Talk of individuals. Almost tranquil.
And we still remember everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alvin's not there.
What happened?
I look at is it Ilix? I'm like, just making sure you remember me, right?
Little strange man, of course I remember you.
Oh, good.
I am the little strange man.
Yes, I remember you too, Lilith.
Rustling through the rustling through the brush. See familiar horns. Familiar skin tone. As Miss Vaughn kind of looks out, like, oh, good, you're awake. Wonderful. You guys came in pretty late last night. Just kind of went to sleep. I was a little worried about you guys. So how did everything
I'm
go?
sorry, there was nothing wonderful about what just happened. What just happened to that town?
You guys did end up getting to Blackensburg. That's wonderful. And did you guys ended up finding the...
Some hideous creature that wiped memories and devoured individuals who've never heard or seen of anything like this.
And him.
And then the town
It
was
devoured him.
Nominally. And then eventually the town was eradicated.
What? Eradicated?
What happened?
I'm not sure. I'll get those creature notes over to our creature expert. Wow. A whole town, you say? What power? Do you think it moves?
The town?
The town or the power?
I should be clear with my sentences. The thing that annihilated the town.
Would I recognize these arrows shooting off from far in the distance as potentially being from the Maid of War?
Because
I have seen
or
that before.
Perhaps the Maid of Death?
No, I was going to say
Ilya?
Ilix. recognizes those arrows.
Before we ended up here, is it possible that Ilix saw where the arrow came from?
Yes. And you guys remember which direction you guys took. So it came in the direction you guys came from. So probably around here. Or in this
How
direction.
long were we out?
Oh, you guys left about 2 weeks ago.
Yes, but how long since we were incapacitated? How long have we been asleep?
Oh, you guys got back this evening. Or last evening, I suppose. Only a couple of hours ago.
Pardon me, but how did we get back exactly? I just, call it a sanity check.
Well, we're, through the bush. I show you, and then she kind of opens up, and you can see this kind of disc-like structure. They're pushing stone to like make stairwells down, and then some more structure that's kind of like half circular already. Like, I'm making an exit point. But that's beside the point. So we were doing that, and you all just walked out of the bush, like last time. But I don't remember coming to get you. So it was. We just figured you all ended up walking back. That's weird. You don't remember.
It is
What
a little
is today?
strange.
Well, today is the 34th of the month. You guys left about the beginning. Right.
Would Ilix know what day it was when we fought the Hydra?
Yes, then that would, well, yeah, you're gonna get a couple of those.
Say what?
Different sizes. I'm accidentally pressing my own buttons. The false Hydra minis.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, so yeah, about a week to 5 days, which is about how long it took to travel down. So you
We
guys
have
left at the
lost.
beginning of the month. So you've lost about 3 weeks. Well, you're back now. I'm sorry. I feel very terrible about the situation you guys have come under, but it can't dampen my excitement. I am finished. Trying to get over a few more roadblocks.
Indeed.
He is an absolute terrible human being.
Okay. All right. I kind of turned to my companions. I'm like, well, what do you guys think happened?
Doesn't seem to be another portal incident.
Oh.
Yet.
Mailman! Tell Tibron that this should be his next location. We're going to need everyone here. So, everyone. And he goes, yes, all of the other archivists. Ding, 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 ding. Oh, I wish I put that one together. What Normal. Uh, so, you left here with two other individuals. I don't seem to see them anymore.
Apparently, they are lost along with our time.
Hmm. Sam, questions unanswered.
We know where one is.
Hmm. Oh,
He's in a Hydra's lair.
oh, that's too bad. And that was the Archivist of Tome, which means I need to find an Archivist of Tomes. I must tell Tristan. He's not going to be happy. That's uh, four already. Mm. I'll send word out to the islands. We're going to have to replenish our supply of personnel.
Is this common for archivists? I look at Ilix.
Oh, no, that's what's weird.
No, it is most certainly not.
I mean, we say that we would go to the ends and risk our lives for, but we never really, I guess, had to.
If you actually mean it.
It's new for us. But great. I'm actually glad you all are here. Wanted to ask you some questions. Tend to be having an issue with our landing pad. That's a good word for it. I think I'll use that one. The landing pad. Uh, uh,
I
so
would
sorry.
suggest the term crash pad.
oh no, that's why I'm building it. I'm trying to make sure you guys don't go reading through the sky into your new location.
Well, maybe you might want to add some actual padding to your pad.
Or perhaps some gear to help travelers land.
Well, I'm hoping that it'll just be in and then walk right out. I'm just trying to solve the problem for the velocity. But I'm almost there. What I was going to ask, you all wouldn't be, well, know any who might be better at glassware and possibly jewelry.
I'm not landing in a place full of jewelry and glassware if this is about your landing pad project.
Oh, no, no. uh, this way. And she kind of walks over, and off to the side, there's like a whole bunch of big like ropes and tubes that come out into one direction to a little like square, and then two large light bulbs almost. Two big jars upside down. One of them exploded. The other one looks like a poorly made mason jar. And then on the inside, there's like the floating orbs almost of light, and every now and then they just careen across the glass and then kind of settle. And so that's like, yes, that bursted the other one. Had to get some new individuals to help. Speaking of which, Thomas, are how's it looking? And you can see a guy. He's like got bandages all through here, and like there's still a big piece of glass is like coming out this way. He's like, he'll be fine. So our original glassmaker has not been doing the best work, on account of losing one of their arms. The last time it exploded. So
Grins is casually walking so that Zindira is in between him and the non-exploded glass.
I almost want to roll for that one.
Oh no.
And open your mouth.
Not for the bottle.
3.
No, she doesn't notice. but you wouldn't be the only one who's done that so far. It's like, yes, I'm also finding it extremely hard to get people to actually work with me on this one. So just if you knew anybody who could do a better job, do let me know. We'll try to get them out here.
Oh,
We will most
course.
certainly keep our ear to the ground.
if I see anyone fitting that description, I will definitely tell them about your opportunities.
Because and then jewelry maker, because I need thin, precious metal, like if they were making necklaces, and then possibly someone who's good with potion making.
Potions, that we do know.
Am I standing next to Ilix? Like,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. No. I was thinking of something else.
Oh. Well, that is a shame. If you do
but
find.
Out of curiosity, how much do you compensate your potion makers for? It would help if we were looking for someone.
Oh, full compensation.
Grins nods approvingly.
We're looking at a good contractual job with the archives and dental. We had to stop doing healthcare because you know.
Thomas over here almost bankrupted us.
Speaking of Thomas, I've already checked on him. He's okay. Thomas gurgling. He's going in the shower. Thomas, your plan included bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing damage. If you want me to heal the necrotic damage, it's going to cost more.
We do not have necrotic insurance here.
It'll be all right. I've heard there's over-the-counter. Anyway. But yes, do let me know. Get them gainfully employed. And who knows, if they do a good job, we might not have exploding things. I think it's not a good even texture throughout the entire bulb. The differences in thickness tends to cause it to crack.
What do these bulbs do? Besides explode.
They explode.
Yeah.
Well, they're not meant to explode, but I'm thinking of possibly finding a use for the ones that do.
Well, I could think of many uses for that.
But for these, the unexploding ones, I'm hoping to use them as dampeners to catch some of the energy that comes through the portal in front of you all to stop your movement. So it's a nice little walk out the other end.
So, let me see if I've got this straight. On the right by these portals where you're making your landing pad, you're trying to capture energy by putting big glass bulbs that are known to explode and cause grievous damage to those involved. I do not like this plan.
No, I'm looking thoughtful. I'm like, it might work.
I mean, it's just testing. Obviously, I would have some form of housing right now. Housing. Good job, Thomas. Thomas still. He's doing fine. So we'll have
Yes,
housing.
you said that many times.
We'll have housing, preferably the blast-proof kind. But again, I do not trying to get glass that will not explode. I need, a glass maker with all of their hands.
Okay, let's think about this, guys. Who do they send through these portals more often than anybody else?
Oh, well, that would be you guys.
Um,
And
Good
Jared,
glassmaker.
our
Good
test
glassmaker.
our test sheep, still alive.
New
Don't tell
priority.
them.
High quality
Yeah, I'm gonna be
glassmaker.
like, I don't want you testing this on us. You're gonna
Yeah.
test this on us, aren't you?
No. See, you guys aren't the only ones to go through. Jared, our test sheep, he goes through quite often for us. Don't tell him he's the third. Oh, we stopped calling them Jared and then the subsequent numbers after the second one kind of panicked through the
Jared the
last
50th.
one.
Oh my.
he was the worst since Jared the First.
I am going to cast Speak with Animals to ask Jared about what he's seen and what's happening.
So, this
Ah,
meek, malnourished only to the point of it probably hasn't had time to come and eat yet. For the day, patchy, where some of it has been burnt. Eyes wide and mildly shaking. As you talk, you're like, "Hey, buddy, how's it?" It's literally all you hear on the inside of his head.
you should take some time to eat and relax and sleep if you can.
Straight legs.
I kind of like jump a little.
It was a sheep. Forget I'm in an apartment now. I can't be screaming.
Oh,
Yeah.
we're gonna have to find a good glassmaker for Jared's sake.
That's almost like an Easter egg for Sam. Sam knows exactly who's a good glassmaker.
I'm trying to remember.
It's from before
It's
I
not in
joined.
this campaign.
Oh,
Start of the campaign.
Not in this campaign.
Oh, right. Yes, I do know exactly who's a good glassmaker. Except I was thinking of her in a different context.
Yeah.
Jared here isn't gonna make it unless we find a glassmaker.
Kind of looks over. It's like, yes, we'll probably have to get a fourth one if we can't figure out how to get it to stop throwing individuals into that tree. And you guys kind of look over and across the area as they kind of move some of the equipment out of the way. There's like a bigger tree, and it's kind of rubbed the bark loose of it. Seems like
Had
it's
you
slammed.
ever thought of just removing the tree?
She goes, "Oh, you tell her to remove a tree then. I would
Oh.
I would never."
Oh, I see.
Fair.
Actually, it's kind of great because there's a lot of our bunks that are behind that tree, and it would be terrible to have someone go careening through them and destroying all of our stuff with their limping, mangled bodies. Absolute terrible. I'm sorry, did I say absolutely mangled? That only happens after they hit the tree. Don't judge. The first couple of times they came out extremely fast, much faster than the last time. I
We
had to turn everything around. I had
We'll find a glassmaker.
Before we have to go through that thing again, hopefully.
Our Dragonborn here might know a thing or two about potions.
Fair. I was hoping to send you guys and try it out once. You know, a real environment. But I can wait until I'm bringing you back. I'm hoping that if I can get this one to work, the next step is just to make everything smaller. Not you guys, hopefully, that you guys don't come out the other end smaller. Oh, absolute. I believe we had an archivist working with the Mage Guild one time who started his first adept at teleportation. Turns out everybody came out the other end miniature.
Oh dear.
Using it for candy. I'll get into that story later.
Guys, we're gonna need some mounts.
Yeah.
And you guys have your non-horses here. You left.
How'd they get here?
You left with the other individuals. They just kind of started meandering in this way.
I go running off to meet them.
Grins walks so that Ilix is between him now and the glass.
I think you can ask her where she found them.
Oh.
You can see, you go over to the area, and there's like a bigger area where there's like a whole corral because they have their big cart horses and a few other like riding horses from other people who have come by. You can see where it's been cleared out by her as the trees and stuff that were small enough just kind of bent out and down and then up into fencing as it weaves vines and stuff. And then you see your three, and then there's like a small, looks like a rock with some patterns on it was lifted up by branches and flourishing vines, and it just kind of stumbles around and goes, pets one, and kind of goes around, picks up grass from the floor, and as it holds, it kind of dries out, and then puts it in a little trough. Vaughn kind of comes behind.
Grins.
Doing quite well out here. Even without too much space to roam around, they seem quite content.
Grins.
Yeah.
Where is the child?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure where the town is anymore, even.
Do we have no recollection of what happened to the child?
No more than what happened to the town, like I said.
You guys remember, yeah, everything up to when everything started to just annihilate.
I don't know how anything could have escaped that, let alone us.
I don't know
We
how we
were
could
there.
walk this far without knowing it. Something's up.
Nah. And that power is...
Did you ever leave to begin with?
That power is... We've destroyed Flag. War ran with his tail between his legs. Famine is on another dimension. Death is the only one still here that we know. And that was definitely his arrow.
There will come a shadow that carries a mighty bow. Who will tear your city down in the last blow? Then there comes the omen.
Do you hear singing?
Light, which will burn your city down. Hello, hello, hello. Kind of memories back and forth through the whole thing. Like, you would cross individuals on the road and hear bits, and then it was playing inside of the tavern. On the streets as people were cheering and conversating from the days you don't remember wandering the roads.
Do we notice anything weird about the environment we're in currently? Or does it seem legit?
It feels legit. Roll an insight check, kind of from the whole interaction of everybody you've been around.
Just grins?
Insight.
Oh, anybody who's curious, inquiring about Grin's question.
Could I investigate my surroundings?
Yeah. So yeah, if anybody wants to like insight into like, were people acting weird? Or if you want to like, hey, does this area look bad or different? Is there something off? Yeah.
Dirty 20 on insight.
I got a 17 on investigation.
Yeah, it seems normal. No one's off. Iantha Vaughn is exactly.
No one's more off than they usually are, Vaughn.
Yeah, Iantha is the same kind of off her top as she was when you guys first got thrown through a portal from her. You recognize a lot of the people. You don't see any faces that were weird, or that you might have missed. Few new people, but menial tasks and such. The area doesn't seem off. The heat feels the
It is
same.
5 to 7 days of travel gone, and an apocalyptic level event that we cannot remember other than its opening moments.
Is Sucklaf, like, nearby?
In her grove, yeah. This is not quite in the same area.
Okay.
This is like the archivist staging area, where she's like putting together and retrofitting old technology that she can, scattered about the area. Okay. And there's like a grove area next to it that she claimed as her spot close to the center.
Okay. So after checking in on our mounts, quite joyful at seeing them again, I'm going to come back and rejoin the group. And I'm going to suggest, Sucklaf is nearby. We could approach her and see if she has any familiarity with the things that we just saw.
That's a great idea, Zendara. How about you ask the question, though? I think she likes you more than she likes either of us.
I blush very, very visibly. All right. I'm going to start walking to entreat Sucklaf.
everybody join? Or just Indira?
I'll follow along as I don't have to, you know, walk on my knees as I get closer or anything. I don't exactly hold her in the same regard as my friend.
Ilix will follow as well.
You all go and you enter the grove, and on the other end, across it is a large field of patterned colored flowers. At the end is the shattered seat of Stucklaf, um, put together by vines and whatnot. Sitting on it now, half put together, is a dummy, as you guys have recognized before. New. Looks like it's having things added to it. It's missing parts. As you guys enter, almost like the whole forest moves itself, you can see her pull her way out the ground and out of the brush. A large figure, like a tree coming to greet you. See the orb that is her central self, almost like it peers towards you. You've all returned.
As she approaches, I bow down on one knee. So.
Grins tips his hat.
I was worried you all left in flight.
What?
Seemed very important. The night before you left, you came to talk to me. Do you not remember?
Can't hear you.
She goes, you came to talk with me. Do you not remember, little one?
Over the last 2 weeks, I think I've forgotten more than I remember.
Let me see. At least I can let you remember me. And she kind of reaches out and like a little twig, kind of, and it's pink, and it kind of glows a bit. Remember coming to her glaive? It's at the night. You had woken up because Ilix had shuffled, and then when you rolled over, he wasn't there anymore. So you had gotten up to look around and wandered into it. And then you spent a bit talking with her about is it smart to go and try to pull the artifact away that's causing whatever they were looking for. She had told you that it seems like it is malicious, and it would be smart to get rid of it. She said, be careful. Do not get involved with the individuals on the way. As she said that quite a few bandits had posted up along the road. Normal things that you would expect. You would ask her to check for you to make sure that your travel was safe. So she let you know that plants have informed her that there are bandits along that road, and to not involve yourself. They're heading to the same town. You can go this way and avoid them. Stuff like that. She says this out loud because you had mentioned to her that you were looking for Ilix. Ilix. The night before you left. You had woken up to laughter. Children's laughter. Children's laughter you recognize, you remember, like a memory. Joy, somewhat, startled you awake, and you looked out, and there was um, Ilya. Walks off into the brush. You follow. You follow Ilya up onto a mound along a canopy up until a cliff face that juts out in the center of the grove, looking out over the horizon. You remember talking. Ilya says things like, you know, they don't go until I say they're gone. Expect to run into them again. You guys talked about purpose. You both were conflicted on and had different opinions on what it meant to help. It felt like Ilya's idea of helping others was very twisted, um, absolute, the exact end. Ilya was frustrated that he could not convince you that there's something better and that this is not it. And he said, I'll show you. And he reached his hand across the field, the horizon, and the ground rushes underneath like you're traveling across the plains. And it zooms in on a town, large, lighted, lit up, lively. Sees a large band of bandits riding. You can see their smoke, the dirt kicked up by the horses as the large group rides up to the edge of the town. He goes, the events that happen after this will end everyone in the town. No one ends up coming out of there. They fight the bandits. The bandits win. No heroes. No saviors. Few and far between. Here, I'll give you a better look. And he puts his finger up, and a small little bead of white pearlescent glow sits on the top. And he kind of sends it out. And it doesn't look like it gets any bigger, but it covers that whole distance and stays the same size. You can tell it has gotten bigger because it lights up the whole of the ground, something ominously sitting above the town. You can hear the screams, the clanging, and the fighting. He goes, but if none of them were there, then none of this suffering would happen. And all it takes. You reach out to stop him. You miss. The arrow careens, strikes the orb, and rains down upon the town. You scream. How could you? He goes, do you think you could save them? If you were there, how many could you save from suffering? And when you pulled them from the rubble, does that end their suffering?
It did not end their existence.
I could have saved at least one more than you.
Hmm. Exactly. I, you know, you save someone who's already a victim, and that terror, the pain, the suffering, it stays with them. It doesn't leave when you save them. It doesn't leave when you remove the person. It doesn't leave when you take out the knife until they're not. All the sufferings. And then they go on. Fine. You think you can save at least one person. End the suffering and leave them in this world. Take your chance. And then you all wake up in an inn room. All three of you. And another individual. Offering. Panicked. Sweating. Oh. Why do y'all look just as panicked as I do? And then it ends. No? And that's the end of the one shot.
Nice. That was good.
Oh, wake your ass back up. Groundhog style.
Awesome.
You guys found the false Hydra way quick. That 21 save was wild.
That worked out pretty good. Yeah, I was kind of wondering about that. I was like, we got straight to battle. I was like, I wonder if we found this thing really fast. So yeah. Nice, nice. Cool. Go and stop streaming.
And I realized that I'm muted.
Nah.
Well, that was fun. Thank you for running this. This was great.
4 one shot. I figured I'd end it here at 4. Non-canon, so y'all can. Figured I'd start y'all up in a loop.
That was fun. I very much enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Hydra was a fun monster. So. The false Hydra.
It's
Yes, it was.
interesting putting together. Trying to keep. It's like as a DM, you really have to keep everything real close to the chest to effectively run the Hydra the way it's supposed to. But if you see it, you see it. You don't have to save from it any longer that day.
I think the silence was very helpful.
Oh yeah, that killed its flare actions, or its legendary actions. Because its legendary actions is the chatter, and then if you guys don't hear the chatter, it doesn't matter.
That's pretty great.
That was very helpful. Nice.
I was really enjoying.
Did not expect to need that spell that soon.
Yeah, I think I just equipped the Cruel Sun. Like, I was having a lot of fun with that.
The Meta Pride is like, you guys literally don't know how much I have to cover your asses.
We're really good at this.
I was literally in a maid outfit and a broom, like cleaning up after these motherfuckers all the time.
Oh.
So, yeah, you guys found him quick, killed that thing pretty cool. Like, I like the constantly burning and sending it back into the tunnel.
I love
Guys
it.
look like it was like a stormship troopers, like burning out all the bugs with the flamethrowers. Yes, nope.
That movie is great.
Uh, that was fun.
Friends over here putting its hand on the belly like it's afraid.
Yeah, that was fun. All right, well, do we want to, let's see. I think 2 weeks from now is Memorial